Alright, this is for project 3-4. I apologize, I usually print my instruction sheet, but this time I couldn't get it printed, so I'll have to toggle back and forth, so I apologize for that. But I've already done steps 1 through 4. I'm going to start with 5 and go until step number 14. So step number 5, we're going to apply the chart style 14 to the chart. When you do that, you're going to click on the entire chart instead of just the little portion of the chart, because you want the whole style to apply to the entire chart. So we're going to come up to our design, and right here under chart styles, we're going to click on chart style 14. It doesn't look like it changed much, but it made it a little bit different from the original. Step number 6, we're going to format the title to a 20-point font size. So I'm just going to click on the title box on my home tab and make it a 20-point font size. Step number 7, we're going to apply a 1/2-point black text 1 outline to the chart area. So if I put my mouse, you can see chart area pops up. I can click, again, make sure it's the entire thing and not the inside. We're going to come up to Format, Chart or Shape Outline. We're going to make it black, our black text 1. I'm going to go back in and change it from 3/4 to a 1/2 point. So my outline is a little bit less thick, a little bit thinner. Step number 8, verify that the chart is still selected. We're going to remove the Design Consulting data series from the chart. So right now I can look down at my legend and see that the Design Consulting is this teal color. What I'm going to do is I'm going to select my chart. There's actually 2 ways to do this. So the first way is I'm going to select my chart, and I'm going to drag my mouse. If I put it in between, drag it up, and then it will take that little piece out of the chart. I'm going to undo that so I can show you how to do the other way. The other way is to select your piece that you don't want anymore and make sure only that's selected and nothing else, no other pieces, and then you simply just hit your delete button on your keyboard and it will take it out. And you can see up here that it's just like I dragged it up and it only is selecting that information for the chart area. Step number 9, we're going to create a 3D pie chart from A4 to A9, H4, H9. We're going to move it to its own sheet and name that sheet Revenue Breakdown. So to select cells that are not next to each other, so my A and my H aren't right next to each other, I'm going to hold down my Control key after selecting A4 through 9, hold down Control and select H4 through 9. And now I can insert a 3D pie chart. And then it says to move it to another sheet, so it's still going to be selected. I'm going to move my chart on the Design tab, move chart to a new sheet, and I believe it's called the Revenue Breakdown. And make sure you spell it correctly, capitalize, so that it can grade it correctly. When I hit OK, it's created its own sheet, and it only shows the chart, so it's nice and big if I wanted to print that out. 10, edit the chart title to display revenue by category. We're going to change the font size to 32. I just click up in here and type revenue by category. And I'm going to change my font size to 32. And I forget you have to click out and click back in to change the font size, which is kind of annoying. You could go in and highlight while it's still selected and change it that way as well. Step number 11, select the legend and change the font size to 12. So I'm going to select my legend down here and just come up and change it to a font size of 12. So it's pretty simple, you just have to click and change. Step number 12, apply the woven mat texture to the patio and furniture slice. So I'm going to look at my legend. I know my patio and furniture slice is green. When I first select my chart, it's going to select all of the pieces. So if I try and change it now, everything would change. I then have to just click in the piece I want and notice that it's only selecting that piece. I'm going to come up to Format, and I'm going to Shape Fill. I'm going to do a texture, and I've got my woven mat right there. You can also, if I double click on that piece, it will bring up my format data point over here on the side. I would use my fill here, fill bucket, fill, picture and texture, and then come down here to check texture and select the one I want. So either way works, whatever is easier for you. 13, add data labels. So we're going to make sure they're in the center, and we want them to be formatted as a counting with 0 decimal points. So I'm going to select my chart, and I still have my format data series. So if that wasn't there, I would just double click for that to pop up. You can also add chart element here, data labels, more. It's going to bring up this same box. So again, make sure it's selected. Right here is my series options. And I'm going to click on, hold on, it's not popping up for me. Okay, we're going to get rid of that. Normally it would pop up there. Let's go this way. If it doesn't pop up, we're going to do data labels, more data label options, and there it is, popped up for me. So data label options, we want it to be in the center, and let's try this again. Have everything selected right here. Data labels, here we go, sorry. More data label options. There we go, and now I've got them all. It's because I only have that one selected and I wasn't aware of that. So click on center, and then I'm going to come down to number, and we want it to be the accounting with 0 decimal places. So as I scroll in, so you can see this, I've got my in the center accounting with no decimal places. That's how I have formatted my data labels. Last thing on that is we want to make those data labels size 14 with a bold. So I'm going to simply select, make sure they're all selected, bold it, and make it a 14. So it's a little bit bigger. And then step 14 just says deselect the chart. And then you're going to save and upload. Remember, if you don't get 100% on your project, check and see what you missed. Let's see if I can come back. I should have something popped up. Let's see if I go to my projects. Here's my submitted one. So if I don't have, here's my attempt one. So this will pop up. It will tell you the percent, and then over here it will say 0 out of 7 or whatever. If you click, it's going to tell you what you did wrong and how to fix it. So that's how you can go back into your file and change those things that you missed, and then you can come back into, if I click on assignments, come back into that project or whatever one and upload it again. Remember, you can upload it 3 times. So get 100%. It's worth every little point. So I hope this video helped. Bye.